Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of VCR Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Matt, and over here we have, of course, himself, Matt. How are you, Matt?
Doing all right. It was a weird thing that it feels like it's been almost a year since we've done an episode, but we've actually been secretly recording. We just haven't released anything.
Yeah, it's really crazy how that works. It's only been a week, but it does feel like a year. So much so that, if you think about, like, on the last episode, we talked about, Battlefield 1 and Breath of the Wild and South Park and things like that. But it's like most of those games are out. Like, props to these companies for getting their development so spot on that it only took them a week to release. Like, I am impressed right now.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. It's been... I feel like I talk to you way too much.
So, what's new with you, Matt? What's going on in your world?
Quite a lot. It's I guess, do we want to start talking about what games we've been playing, or what do you want to do first?
Well, I don't know. Get caught up a little bit on I don't know, just what's going on with your life, things like that. We can go into games, whatever you want, man. What you got?
Well, as you know, we've been crazy at work. only slightly, a little bit, since February.
Don't get me started, man. Don't even get me fucking started.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about it. And you're lucky. You don't even have to go to work tomorrow.
Oh yeah, no, fuck that. I'm staying home.
Yeah. So at the time of the recording, you're gonna be all Mr. taking the day off, but whatever. No, other than that, had a pretty good Mother's Day weekend. Got the wife a Van Gogh painting print of Starry Night.
Oh, that's right. You showed me a pic of that. Did that go over well?
Oh, yeah, she loved it. And then I went to my local game shop, and they were selling this giant binder of Pokemon cards they had in the back for like years and years. And they were selling it for $30, and I picked it up, and holy crap. I definitely made my money back.
Really? They didn't even bother to care to look at it or anything?
Nope, they just wanted to get rid of it.
So what, you got a bunch of foils, a bunch of them holograms, son?
Well, no, there were two cards in there that are worth $30 starting price by themselves.
Whoa.
I guess there was a promotional card when the Pokemon Game Boy game came out, or no, the Pokemon trading card Game Boy game that I think was only released out in Japan.
Japan, yes. Yep.
And it came with a card if you bought it at a certain store or something, and that card was in that binder, and that's worth, just if it's in crappy condition, worth $30.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is it in all Japanese, or is it
yeah, it's all Japanese.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was in there, and then there's another card, they call it the Birthday Pikachu card, and that starting price is $30 as well if it's in crappy condition. Birthday
Pikachu cards. Is that the one with the hat on and all that?
Yeah.
The little cone hat? Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about. All right. Question. I know we're typically video game related, but, Pokemon is it's a video game, so close enough. Do you do a lot of Magic the Gathering, card trading, things like that? I know this. Our listeners know this. Do they do Pokemon trading, like cards and things like that there as well? Like, are you able to resell them on there, or is they like strictly Magic only, like, cool guy club, fuck everybody else?
What, at the shop I go to?
No, I know the stores do, but I mean like online, the online stuff that you purchase and trade and you can post up and things like that. Are they?
Oh yeah. Yeah, they have all that, and I'm not really into that. I mean, my wife is just now starting to get into the Pokemon trading card game, which she's been mainly playing the online game, and she loves it. And I basically got that binder for her, and we just got lucky finding those two cards. We still haven't priced out everything else, but we definitely made our money back, though.
Dude, the Pokemon card game is on point. actually, thanks to you, as a matter of fact, we got some of that freshened up in our household. You showed me kind of what to grab for my son around Christmas time and things like that, and he's got quite the collection going now too, and it's really neat because like I'm into it as well. He made some questionable trades at school, so I had to have some heart to hearts with him on that, and kind of make sure that he wasn't. He actually did trade for a pretty cool card, but it was just beat up, bro. I mean, it was just folded, the edges and stuff, and it's like, yeah, I get it. It is awesome, but, you got to pay attention to condition. He just didn't know, but yeah, so, that's something that I think you and I both have been into since we were kids, and I still think it's pretty rad, man. I don't play it that much, but definitely like seeing all the different stuff out there.
No, the game itself is super easy to learn how to play, and it's the online game teaches you perfectly as well. And what's cool about it, what I really like about the online game, which Magic needs to jump in on, is every time you buy a booster pack, you get a code card that unlocks a booster pack for you on the online game.
Oh shit! I think you were telling me about that. Damn, where do you get that code at? I'm thinking I might have thrown that shit away.
Well, no, you get them in every booster pack you buy. Every deck you buy that's physical.
Yeah, but so it's like an actual card inside there, and it has that information on it. Yeah, we threw that away, son of a bitch. Damn.
Yeah, man. You don't want to. I mean, you can even resell those too for like $1 each. People will buy them up.
Well, yeah, because it's you're gonna get. It's like a gamble, essentially, right? It's just like a booster pack in real life. Yeah, so that makes sense.
No, pretty cool. I mean, as far as that, chopped down a tree today.
Fucking A, dude. Back with the lumberjack life again. I think a couple episodes ago you had that lumberjack life going on as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be, oh, dude, I'm going to have to spend so much money we have to get rid of these 2 trees, because it looks like they may be coming close to smashing my house.
I got you that discount, bro. Melissa's old man owns a tree service. I got you,
really? Bro. Oh, okay. I'm definitely gonna have to talk to you then.
Yeah, let me know when you want a quote. I'll have him come out, and no obligations.
Okay, cool.
No, I know he's pretty affordable, and he's helped out some people that we know and things like that. So I'll get you hooked up.
No, I definitely need it because these 2 trees. Yeah, I mean, there's already the pressure cracks starting to form.
Dude, and it's about, I mean, I guess it is technically hurricane season, but as the summer goes on, it's going to get worse. So,
yeah.
I mean, hey, worst case scenario, right? Like, I'll just come over there with my pole saw, which is teeny tiny, and we'll drink some beer, and we'll go at it. Fuck it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get a rope, tie it to your Fiesta, and just, you start driving away while we pull down the tree.
Oh my god, dude. What was I gonna say? I mean, your homeowners they'll be fine, right? Like, we take a corner of the house out. Like, I'm sure they'll be okay with that claim.
I guess as long as you're behind the wheel and not me.
Okay, good. Good. My car is insured with Yo Fault insurance, just so we're clear. Yes.
Oh,
Florida, man. Yo Fault state.
No, but other than that, it's been a pretty chill Mother's Day weekend. We didn't really do anything really special today. I didn't even make her breakfast because we haven't gone grocery shopping, so we had kind of like the bare essentials. So I just went out and picked up some food at a restaurant, brought it back.
Hey man, there's nothing wrong with that. Shit, I prefer that sometimes,
Yeah.
It's nice to get a meal somebody cooked for you and enjoy it in your home, Usually at home, you're doing it yourself, and fuck all that noise.
No, so how's your weekend been?
Pretty hectic. We had so Saturday we had Melissa's cousin's daughter had a birthday party, a kid's birthday party thing. So we did that. We had to do some running around, birthday cards, shit like that. We had to hit up a mall. Actually, I got. I've had a lot of pickups since the last episode, but actually I have one, and I'll talk about it when we get there. From yesterday, actually, while we were out at the Brandon Mall, we had to go there. My wife had to return something to one of the cosmetic stores that's there, which is the whole reason why we went out to that hellhole. Let me tell you, man, that mall, I know the mall by where we work, you run the risk of getting stabbed, right? But at Brandon Mall, you run the risk of getting killed from road rage because, like, the loop that goes around the whole mall, right? That, like, the perimeter of the parking lot is 100% gridlock every time. Oh, and I mean, I'm sure Mother's Day being today, day before didn't help by any means, but dude, oh, god damn, I hate that mall so much, bro. But yeah, I got a pickup out of it, so that was cool.
What'd you
what
get?
else do we do? All right, yeah. So I know I recently picked up a Sega CD. So I've been kind of just keeping my eye out. There's really not. It's kind of depressing. Like, do you remember Sega CD like back in the day, like when we were kids and that shit was like new? Do you remember like all the hype and all that shit?
I mean, a little bit. I remember more of the hype for Saturn than CD.
That's true. That is true. I guess, I don't know. I had like a Sega Visions magazine my aunt purchased for me, and I used to, she got the subscription. I used to get it. And, it was in there, and it was like, oh my God, Sonic on CD, this changes everything, Yeah. It's still just a Genesis, bro. It's a Genesis with load times. Like, I shit you not. Unless you're into all those full motion video games, which I will say it does that. Now, it's terrible because it's limited by the Genesis. It can only put 60 colors on screen or 50 or 60 colors on screen. And because it runs through the Genesis, it's still limited to that. So you have the worst video compression you've ever seen in your life running on this shit. So, if you're into that, what's the matter?
Hello?
Yeah, I got you, bro. You can't hear me?
Oh, no, it just, so you can edit this part out, but it just sounded you just went out and then came back in.
It looks like it got me, though, and I got you, so we'll be okay. All right, anyways.
Okay.
All right, back at it. Sorry about that, guys. If there's a weird jump there, we had a little technical difficulty. We're trying out this new software, so bear with us. So, basically, unless you're into all the full motion video stuff, which is like 90% of the games in the Sega CD, and they're absolutely fucking horrid games. I mean, it's like press left when the left arrow shows up on screen. Like,
oh yeah,
it's fucking worthless. So, forget all that. Now, all the regular games were pretty much all just ports from the Genesis. Like, literally, they took them and burned them on a CD. Some have better audio, they have real music, real CD quality audio, which is nice. I'll give them that. But for the most part, they're all just ports. There's nothing special. Like, you think all this power and everything from this extra system has an extra processor. No, it's shit. So I picked up for $10. I picked up NBA Jam. All right. I don't know. Did you play NBA Jam back in the day, Matt?
Oh yeah, of course. I didn't know they came out on the Sega CD.
Oh yeah, neither did I. But they did. You take a guess at what it brings being in CD format versus cartridge format now on the Genesis now. Less superior to the Super Nintendo. Anybody wants to fight me about that, you can. I was a Genesis kid back in the day. The Super Nintendo wipes its ass with the Genesis, okay? What do you think it brings to the table?
Load times.
Fucking nailed it, dude. Fucking love this guy. Yeah, load times, because that's what you wanted. Playing fucking NBA Jam, fucking terrible graphics, all pre-rendered shit. Yeah, it adds... And Matt, it's not like... a few seconds. It's literally a minute of a black screen without a loading screen. I'm like, did it break? Is there a scratch on the disc? And then all of a sudden the screen will load. Yeah, it's fucking brutal. And I do have the second gen Sega CD, which is a 2X. I believe it's a 2x CD-ROM instead of the old tray loader. The original one was a 1X. So, it's... I couldn't imagine playing on the first gen Sega CD if it's already as bad as this. So, not so good. I think it was a lot of marketing hype having the Sega CD back in the day. It's still fun. It's still cool. And Sonic CD, I burnt a copy of Sonic CD because there wasn't one readily available to me. So I burnt one just, from a ROM just to see. And it has really good music. I'll give them that. It's not system generated music, so that is cool. But let me tell you, man, the slowdown is there. It's just, I don't know. If you're gonna play Sonic CD, I hate to say this, and I'm a hardware person, but emulate that shit. Emulate it. Don't deal with the load times. It's fucking unnecessary.
Well, no, they have that on Steam now. They have like almost all the Sonic games on Steam now.
That's one of the benefits that we get when video game giants die, is they turn to quote unquote software companies, or other companies acquire them and blow their IPs out. So thank God for that. That game's insufferable, man. So NBA Jam, it's fun as shit still. It plays fine, but the load times, wretched.
Wait, so you can burn just regular CDs and play it on the Sega CD? You don't need to do anything special?
Well, it's not fun if you're not making it so you can make a direct copy. There is no copyright protection. So if somebody is sorry, let me start over. I don't condone bootlegging video games. However, it's not
that we've ever done it.
I would never, Matt. Why would you insinuate that? No. All right. Well, first of all, I mean, let's be honest. You can't buy these games anymore, right? They don't. It's not like you can go out. I'm not hurting, Sega by fucking burning a copy for a Sega CD. Obviously they don't support that shit. But if you were to, if you owned a copy, hypothetically, if you owned a copy of a game and you wanted to, for some reason, make a backup, I'm doing air quotes, of it, you could do a verbatim copy and it would play without issue. You do want to burn it at the slowest possible speed, because it'll apparently the CDI is it wreaks havoc doing burn CDs on it, so you don't want to do it for too much. But you can copy them. Now, burning them from a ROM is sort of a pain in the ass, because typically, so how CDs back in the day. All right, kids, here's your history lesson. Back in the day, we didn't have Apple Music and Spotify, you little snot-nosed shits. We had things called CDs, and these were new because we came from cassettes in analog format. That's another story. And these things were 700 megs, 650 I think early on, but 700 ultimately, and they're wave format, so they're very large files. So what they do is anywhere you can hunt down these ROMs for the Sega CD, they don't have the audio files in WAV. They let you download them in MP3 so that they don't take up as much space. So you actually have to convert them to WAV format. Every single audio track that's on there, and I've had a couple that are 30, and you got to do them one by one. And it's really a pain in the ass. So, especially too, I did try to burn a few of the really hard to find games, and it was just... none of them worked, and I had hours into each one, So, to answer your question simply, you can easily. There's no copyright protection. It takes regular ass CDRs, but it's not really worth it, especially because there's really not too much that's A, worth it to play on the system, and B, there's nothing that actually costs that much that you would actually want to play. So just find the games. Don't waste your time. Take it from me. I can't. I have 9 hours I can't get back to my life from dealing with this fucking Sega CD. So.
Oh man, that sounds.
It's awesome.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, but anyways, there was Matt's retro game console hour for you guys there. If I bored anybody, I apologize. But let's see. So what else? Mother's Day. We did that today. Wife did a little breakfast thing for her sister and her mom here, and then I took off. I went and hung out with my mom for a while, had some coffee, talked some things over with her, spent time with her, and then we actually, Matt, this was unplanned, but we went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2 this evening. We went to the theater.
No spoilers. I haven't seen it yet.
So I know how you felt about the first one.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that this one is the quote unquote sleeper moment that you experience in the first one, which I agree. I don't remember anything like that existing in this one. So it should keep your attention, bro. But I thought it was good. I won't spoil it, but I did think it was pretty good. I liked the first one better, but this one didn't let me down as much as most sequels do, like Iron Man 2. So
yes. Funny you actually mentioned that, because the wife and I really want to see Guardians of the Galaxy 2, so we actually started going back to the beginning to watch all the Marvel movies. Mm-hmm. And we just finished Thor. when you called earlier, and then we did watch Iron Man 2 earlier today, and yeah, that movie is not that great.
Especially so. All right, but you didn't watch them back to back, right? Like you watched.
Well,
That was like a while ago. You saw Iron Man 1, right? Like last week or something.
Yeah, it was last week. So
Don't ever watch them back to back. It's so bad.
It's
huge
nothing but
letdown.
disappointment. Well, because we watched Iron Man 1 first, then we went and watched Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, and
Such a good movie.
it's good, but there's like one part. I don't know. It's the part where him and Liv Tyler's character, whatever her name is, they're on the run. That part's a little bit of a sleeper moment when they're traveling to New York to get to the scientist guy to get the cure for the gamma radiation.
Ah, yes. That movie didn't fare well with reviews, did it? Now that I think about it.
No, it didn't. I mean, it's enjoyable. I thought Ed Norton did a good job, but watching it again, he rarely talks in that whole movie. He maybe has, I don't know, maybe 50 lines of dialogue.
Wow, you're right. It is a little. He spends a lot of time actually as the Hulk.
It's not only that, but when he is Bruce Banner, he's barely talking. He's stalking people. I think Mark Ruffalo, the new Bruce Banner, is way better.
Oh no, he's excellent. And have you seen the trailer for the new Thor movie? Have you seen that?
No, I'm almost trying to avoid it because
Okay. Damn.
I'm getting a little sick of trailers ruining shit.
That seems to be a problem in our generation currently, doesn't it?
I mean, it almost feels like it's... Well, when you go back and look at trailers from the 90s when they had the narrator, yeah, they basically told the whole movie. But now that they're coming out with all these, sequels, and they're always having some big cliffhanger or some big spoiler that happens, it's like, I want to avoid the trailer. Like, I got... And part of it is I'm also trying to avoid social media, too, because... I got spoiled for the, big Star Wars Episode 7 spoiler that happens at the end.
Yeah, so that they played that today. Guardians of the Galaxy, by the way. So.
Oh, The Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Dude, I cannot wait for that. I am so excited about it.
Oh, it looks good. Aiden went. He literally when because the first scene is
Rey.
What's her face? Rey is her face,
Yeah.
And Aiden was like, and he just turned to me, and I just smiled, like, yeah, you didn't know about that, did you?
Oh man.
But it seems like I think I told you about this the other day. Like we were looking to rent movies, something to watch on Apple TV, and we watched the trailers, and it's like I don't need to watch the movie now.
Yeah,
like,
it's ridiculous.
Who greenlit this trailer? It's like 7 minutes long. Like when you have to fill 7 minutes of trailer, do you understand how much you have to give away from the movie? Like, yeah. Goddamn,
dude. And it's also, I don't know how bad it was for you with watching Guardians, but does it not seem like they're adding more and more trailers and ads before the movie lately?
21 minutes. I timed it today.
Oh, wow.
21 minutes, bro. Yeah. It's almost inexcusable.
Yeah, it's getting a little ridiculous. And you timed it from when the movie was, quote unquote, supposed to start, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it was supposed to start right at 5, and we didn't get to the actual opening scene of Guardians 2 until literally almost right on the dot of 5:21. So yeah, wow. 21 minutes, man. Yep.
That's crazy.
They started the trailers on time. I'll give them that credit. I mean, there's always like the bullshit that they play beforehand, like they do like the Showtime, does their shit, and, YouTube Red has ads that run before, at least here they do, have ads that run before that shit. So, it's getting ridiculous, man. Absolutely.
Yeah. So to stay on topic here, let's go quickly into what each host is drinking. What are you drinking tonight?
I got two things. One of them I'm almost out of, and it's sad, but thank God I have a backup. And I am drinking a big surprise here, but mostly because I don't have to work tomorrow. I'm drinking a Sweetwater IPA, not the 420, but the IPA. And it's mostly because I go on call tomorrow, so I'm kind of protesting that. I can't drink for the next week. And not that I drink frequently, but I always want a beer, like on like a Saturday when I'm on call,
Yeah.
and like I can't. So it's sort of a protest one. And then the high dollar item, when I finish that, which is going to be in just a minute, this is the absolute purest you can get of the Nestle Pure Life series of waters. So it's that's on deck. What are you drinking, bro?
Good old Zephyr Hills spring water.
Oh, you big time in me, bro?
Oh yeah.
You stepping up your water game, son?
Hell yeah, man.
There you go. Good shit.
No, that's about it. It's there have been many times where I've been wanting to drink, but no, I've got to work in the morning, so I don't feel like.
Yeah, you do, you peasant.
I know. I don't
I
feel
should
like waking
stop.
up with a hangover.
Yeah, no, dude. We're a bit old for that, man. Like, you're going to need IV and shit. If you try to go to work after having a couple of drinks, man, like, you better be on life support.
Oh, dude, it's not even drinking. Like, even trying to stay up late, because I don't know about you, but I don't sleep very much. Like, even like Friday night, I went to bed at like 2:30, and I was wide awake at 7. Like, oh, okay, so I guess this is how the day's gonna be.
Oh, man, no, I can't do that. That's bad. Really, man? So, I don't know. Maybe you need, you can't be, I don't know, bro. I don't know what would cause that other than being old, like we are.
Yeah.
But that sucks, bro. No, I don't have that problem at all, man. I can sleep my ass off, usually. Now, that being said, there has been a lot of only getting 4 or 5 hours, over the past few weeks, and I can deal with it. And that is something new. Like, I don't feel as like, I don't feel in pain when that happens. Like, I can deal with it better. Maybe my body's
Yeah.
about to make that switch or psych, you can't sleep. I don't know, but yeah, no, I don't have that issue, bro.
No, I mean, like, I'm definitely used to it, but it's just more of like, I tell myself I'm gonna sleep in, and then my body's just like, no, fuck you. You're awake now.
God damn, dude. Yeah, that's rough.
But I do get my naps though. I had one today. So
They are quite more enjoyable nowadays, right?
oh my god, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I just think back to Zoe when she was a baby, when it was nap time, and I'm just like, shit, I want my nap time now.
I know it, bro. I have a hard time. Like, sometimes, like, I'll want to take like a quick nap, like after work or whatever, and like, yeah, my wife or kid will not have that. One of them's coming in to mess with me or something. So
Oh,
I don't
can't-
get to do that often.
I can't do it after work because I know I'll be wide awake at 4 or 5 a.m. and just
That's a rough morning, bro. Jesus.
Yeah.
Shit, man. So, what do you got here? What are you playing right now, Matt? What's on the old Zubatron TV setup over there at your house, or PC Master Race system? What are you playing right now?
Well, it's been a amalgamation of PC, some PS4, and some NES Classic. But I want to start off talking about StarCraft 2. As you know, I'm a giant Blizzard fanboy, and Blizzard recently, I mean, I was already pretty much a Blizzard fanboy for life, but Blizzard did something recently that cemented my love for their company.
Oh God.
So StarCraft 2 has something they call a co-op campaign, where you and another player, you guys choose a character, and whatever that character's race is, that's who you play as, and you and another person have to go up against the computer, do a series of missions. It's
Okay.
actually really fun to do. Because
Yeah, it's like a co-op type situation scenario. Yeah.
so and you have these what they call commanders that you level up, and as you level them up you gain more abilities, but they do have some ones that are behind a paywall that are like $5. So I went on Twitter just talking.
Wait, like $5 per game, or $5 to unlock the
character
campaign? Oh, the character. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I went on Twitter, like, this had to have been 2 weeks ago now, where I just talked about, like, hey, I'm really enjoying the co-op campaign for StarCraft 2. I'm loving, leveling up these characters. Just really posting it on Twitter as a status. And all of a
Just
sudden,
straight swanging from friggin' Blizzard's nuts. Go on, yeah.
pretty much. And then
It's messed up, bro.
No, I'll gladly defend that company after what they did. And then, so Blizzard themselves actually responded to my tweet and just
Whoa.
saying, yeah, and here I am, like a nobody, it just saying, hey, we're glad you like it. Who's your favorite commander right now in co-op? And I tell them who it is. And then all of a sudden they say, hey, check your direct messages. We sent you something. And they gave me a code to unlock one of the paid commanders out of nowhere.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. It was
wow, bro. Damn.
And I just had to double check, it's like, are they doing this to other people? Are they is there something going on that's making this free? It's like, no, they just sent it to me out of the blue, and and I wasn't begging for anything, I wasn't saying, hey, send me free stuff or anything like that. It was just, so that right there just, like I said, cemented my love for Blizzard, where they didn't even have to do that. Granted, they only lost $5.
$5 credits, all it took. Yeah. You hear that, companies out there? You want Matt on your side? It's only going to cost you $5.
No, but it just really goes to show that their kind of customer service is beyond majority of gaming companies.
No, they historically they've been pretty good. I will agree. Very few of their games for me hit what I'm looking for, but I can't knock them truthfully. I mean, there's plenty of other companies out there I'd rather hate on. I mean, they seem pretty solid, bro, and that's fucking cool, man. Isn't it crazy? Like the world we live in with all this social media and everything, that like you can get in contact with like big companies or celebrities or your favorite podcast personality or whatever. Isn't that crazy, man?
Dude, yeah. I love that. Why do you think I'm so addicted to Twitter compared to Facebook? Facebook sucks for that shit.
Yeah, you very rarely get somebody to hit you back on Facebook. Facebook is best for like, I like, there's like groups and shit in there that are cool, especially for like gaming related and shit like that. But other than that, it's, yeah, totally. Twitter is, well, the other thing that they probably don't like is that you say something to them, it's kind of out there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, they're almost kind of forced to at least pay attention.
No, it's I mean, I've even gotten a response from Joe Rogan on Twitter before.
Oh, you didn't tell me that. Seriously?
This was like a year or two ago. It was something I don't even remember. I'd have to go through my history of my 14,000 tweets, but it was something. But I mean, that's just a good example. Like, here's a guy who, as a podcaster, I really look up to him. Because, he gets like 1 million downloads an episode pretty much. And he has a lot of interesting guests on his show. So getting a response from someone like him was just, holy crap. Here I am, this nobody, and Joe Rogan just responds to me,
No, absolutely. He's sort of, boss mode status of podcasting, right? Like Godfather status. You got him and like Corolla and some of the others that are kind of like... they sort of paved the way. Not that podcasting wasn't already around or anything when they came around, but they sort of, they showed what a pirate ship can do. You don't need anybody. You know what I mean? And they do it. Yeah. A million downloads though, really?
Yeah, I heard it on one of his episodes not too long ago that he gets about 1 million downloads an episode.
I'm surprised that he said that. He's usually not very flashy. He doesn't like to talk about numbers or any of that shit. Like, he wants to stay on point, on topic.
It actually wasn't him. It was one of his guests said it, and he just confirmed it.
I gotcha. Okay, that's also something he's really good about. He doesn't shy away from truth though either. Which, yeah, absolutely, I agree. That is cool, man. I didn't know you got to talk to him directly. Of course, not that he remembers it, but then again, you know what? He might. You meet somebody, right, like outside somewhere, and you take a selfie with them, like they're never going to remember you. You know what I mean? But you had a clever comment or a good exchange or something like that. There's a good chance, that sticks with them. So pretty cool.
No, but as far as other games go, been playing Hearthstone on and off. They just had a recent rotation of their cards again. So the whole meta has changed in the game, and that's been fun. It's more of a pick-me-up game where I can play a few matches, and then I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't need to keep playing. And then I'm sure you played a lot of Diablo 2, right?
Oh, dude. My God, I played... like a year of my life went to Diablo 2. Seriously. And I don't mean like off and on. I mean like literally every free moment went to that shit. Absolutely.
So they're releasing the Necromancer class for Diablo 3.
Right.
I got into the beta for it just randomly.
Whoa, cool.
I have to say, that class is fun as hell, man. It's one of the first skills you get is the corpse explosion, and it's just
Oh
insane.
my God, I remember that from Diablo 2. I hadn't thought about that. Okay, so wait, was it corpse explosion? Ah, shit, I can't remember. It's been so long on that. That's yeah, when you slay something, then it explodes and it does damage to everything around it. Correct? I'm thinking of the exact
Yep.
same. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so no, yeah. So Diablo 2, then. Wow, that's fucking badass.
So one of the so my little combo of skills right now is I raise my army of skeletons, and you have this one skill where you raise these spikes or bones from the ground to sort of stun a group of enemies. And so when I kill one of them, I just start exploding all their corpses, and it's just, blood and guts on the screen.
This explosion fest is like chain reaction too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, dude. Oh my God, I'm gonna when that comes out, I think I'm gonna actually grab it. I only played through Diablo 3 once, and then I played here or there with you since then, and I did play the expansion to completion, but it just never super hardcore. But do you know if that's going to come out for like DLC on the consoles? Do you know?
Well, they're releasing it as a character pack. I think it may be like $20 for the whole character or something like that.
I would hope that it would come out like on console. Maybe.
Yeah, it's going to come on the console. Do you have Diablo 3 on the console?
No, I have it on, which that's the beauty of Diablo 3, right? It plays on anything, even my ancient PCs. I can play it on my Mac, my PC, all that. I played on all that. No, I don't, but you've always talked to me about it, and I actually saw it running at a Best Buy like a year or so ago, or maybe two at this point. And it looked really cool, like the kind of zoomed in and the way it really kind of like changed the flavor of the game. And the only thing that's keeping me from buying it is, one, it was full price for forever, and two, it's like, yeah, I've already played through it. You know what I mean? Like, how far am I gonna get before I give up on it? But this new class and all that, I don't know, man. It might be pretty interesting to pick up on a console. A new experience, if you will.
It might. I actually picked it up on console a couple months ago, and I never beat it. I never beat the campaign, but I got to say the controls on it feels way better than mouse and keyboard.
It's really weird because you'd think that it wouldn't, right? Like, yeah, you'd think that it's built for that, but with how they changed your perspective and everything on it, like, it really does. Like I said, I just did the demo or whatever, but it's pretty awesome.
The only downside compared to the controllers, you're not going to be as accurate with your skills that, have to aim somewhere. So
yeah, but that's okay. That just makes your skills come up with the controller a little bit more anyways.
Yeah. So that's it for Blizzard games. Like I said, I'm a Blizzard fanboy.
Full disclosure, Matt is officially sponsored by Blizzard and gets free shit.
Oh, I wish, dude.
You kind of are. You just said they gave you $5 worth of free shit. So I guess for this week, you're sponsored by Blizzard.
All right, sounds good. I did recently pick up the Kingdom Hearts PS4 remaster game, and I beat Kingdom Hearts 1. And that game's actually a lot shorter than I remember playing that again. And I got to say, it looks, dude, even though they're PS2 era graphics, the way they remastered it to 1080p, 60 frames a second, it looks absolutely gorgeous.
So did they redo textures and shit then? It wasn't just an upscale?
Yeah, I think they had to redo some textures. The way you can tell it definitely looks aged is when they do the cut scenes. Where they do like the whole animated cutscenes from like the beginning and the end, where it looks like it's PS2 era cutscenes.
Right.
But other than that, the game was a lot of fun to play. And then I tried playing its sequel, Chain of Memories, and I'd never played it before. That game's absolutely shit. Yeah.
Well, thank you for saving me.
Yeah, really terrible.
You told me you had gotten this game, and I only ever really played the first one. So I was kind of interested in like, man, maybe I should check it out, but I'll avoid that one. Thank you.
No, the PS4 remaster is definitely worth it because I started playing through Kingdom Hearts 2, and that game is just as good too. My only complaint with it, because it'd been years and years since I played 2, is it feels like you're playing Metal Gear Solid, where you play for 5 minutes and then there's a 20-minute cutscene.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
It's only in maybe the first 3 to 4 hours of the game it's like that. But my God, it gets very annoying, though.
Shit, I lost my pen. I was looking for it. I don't remember. Maybe I did play 2. I don't really remember, though, to be honest with you. I do remember the first one. God, that was massive, too. I remember, like, I was actually kind of late to it. A lot of my friends that were playing it were almost done with it by the time I picked it up, and I was kind of like, fine, I'll play it, fucking Mickey Mouse, whatever, you know. And it was actually surprisingly awesome. So, but
Yeah, I'm surprised at how. I mean, who would have thought Final Fantasy meeting Disney would have been a good idea?
Well, so Disney, well, they closed their studio, didn't they, officially, with the whole Infinity and all that shit? Like they killed Infinity off, and like their own gaming studios, I think, are done now.
I think so.
Yeah, they don't. So the only good Disney games are ones that are done by reputable developers anyway. So no, it doesn't surprise me, because every time there's a good Disney game or with Disney characters, it's done by somebody else. So, maybe back in the day I wouldn't have, if you would have told me about it, I thought you're crazy. But if you think about it, like Aladdin on the Genesis and the Super Nintendo, amazing, not developed by Disney. What else do
The Lion King.
Lion King. What else, dude? I just
Mickey's
had one.
Magical Quest.
Mickey's Magical Quest, dude. Like these are good games. The one that was on the Wii. What's that Mickey game that's on the
Epic
Wii?
Mickey.
Epic Mickey. It's okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I only ever played the first one, and
Me too. Yeah.
like I said, it was okay. I mean, my kids definitely liked it more than I did.
It was a little hard for kids, I thought. Some of the platforming and shit was and the problem, the puzzle and shit. It was like, okay, you're making it kid friendly, but the level of difficulty isn't at their level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know. I think they missed the mark on that one. But yeah, no, not surprised that Kingdom Hearts, being done by Square. It was just SquareSoft back then, right? It wasn't Enix.
Yeah, it was SquareSoft, but no, it was just you would have never thought it would have been a good idea at first, just sort of like why would you have Final Fantasy and Disney collide, and then boom, it came out with this game, and surprisingly, it's a lot of fun. It's really good.
It is good. It is really good. DuckTales. Sorry, forgot about DuckTales. Fucking straight up epic game. Yeah. I can't speak to the remaster, but the NES one.
Remaster's okay. We have it. I prefer the Nintendo one better.
Is that PS3 or PS4?
We got it on the Wii U.
Oh, the Wii U. Okay.
Yeah. And then Zoe and I have been playing the NES Classic. Her favorite game right now is Galaga on it. And she actually beat me once legitimately on the high score, and I was just actually like really proud of her.
Does she? I know she's a little firecracker. Is she the type to talk shit to you?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So you go from being immensely proud to they immediately ruin it with how much they're just totally destroying you with shit talking. Does it happen to you?
Yeah, a little bit. It's just sort of like, all right, Zoe, shut up. Come on, let's go. My son has beat me, a handful of times, but he's beaten me in Mario Kart here and there on a couple of different tracks, boy, it's brutal because that's my shit. So I don't handle losing on it very well, let alone if you're gonna shit talk me. So it goes from being, wow, he beat me, this is great, like he's progressing, I've done right, to shut up, you little shit. Yeah. So but no, proud overall though. Yeah. And those moments are this is what's going to be crazy, is those moments are going to come more and more, bro. We're going to be more and more, we're going to get beat more frequently until what's going to happen is you're going to lose all the time. I doubt it, but I don't know. There'll be like Mario Kart 15, and I'll just be like, all right, you little whippersnappers, let's get fucking domed.
That's a good point. And actually, I am looking forward to, him having little friends over or whatever that want to talk smack, because I will happily show them who the king of video games is.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So this next game I want to talk about, I have probably I got it yesterday, and I've devoted maybe almost 8 hours into it already.
And you got it yesterday?
Yeah, dude. It's all right. So the
Got you
game,
by the brain, bro.
it's called Playerunknown Battleground, and it's essentially the Hunger Games.
Oh, okay. All right.
So
Yeah, school me on this, dude, because everybody's talking about it and I suck. I haven't even looked at anything on it. So take me to school right now. What are we dealing with?
so I heard about it before yesterday. I didn't really know anything about it, but my other podcast co-host from So Your Father's a Nerd, Alec, was talking to me about it, saying that I should get it, and he schooled me on it, told me what it's all about. I had a bunch of questions on it, and so I'm like, okay, let me pick it up. Let me see if it is any good. It's $30 right now. It's in beta mode right now.
Okay.
And,
Wow, it's $30 for a beta.
yeah, but you get all the unlockables when they get released and all that.
At
But
least you get something for it. Okay. All right.
so so basically it's you and 100 people, or you and 99 other people are you start off in a plane, and it's flying to this island, and then when it gets to land, you can decide to jump out of the plane as soon as you get land, or you can decide to jump out at a more strategic point. So basically every single game you start off with nothing except the
Okay.
clothes on your back. So you have to go and try and find, guns, med kits, painkillers, ammo, you know, backpacks to carry more stuff,
Okay.
melee weapons. So a lot of it in the beginning, that if you jump out of the plane right away, because a good chunk of the people jump out of the plane too, it's going to be fist fight and brawling as soon as it happens. I just had a game today where I decided to jump out near the very beginning and go into this house, and as soon as I open a door, there's a guy punching me in the face. And
Oh, so he jumped out before you then, essentially?
well, he got to the house before I did, but he went through the
Gotcha.
front door and I went through the back door. and
Ugh.
and like I said, as soon as I opened the door, he was punching me in the face, and of course I couldn't get away in time to be able to punch him back, try to kill him, so he killed me. But no.
So this is some straight up Hunger Game shit then. Like
Yeah.
you don't even have weapons. You have nothing. Like you said, you got to pick up packs and shit. Like you have nothing to start with.
Yeah, so the map is always the same, but different items will spawn in different areas. You can also drive cars if you find them and run people over with them.
Now you say the map is always the same. Is that because it's in beta though?
Yeah, that may be, but the map is gigantic. But what will happen as more people get killed, you're forced to go to certain areas of the map, or else you'll die. Because it's not like when it's down to 5 people, you're in this huge area. So as more and more people die, the map where you can play at, it gets smaller and smaller, or else this electrical barrier is going to come and kill you.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
Electrical barrier is actually Hunger Games esque because if you touch the border in Hunger Games, right, you get zapped.
Yep. So
Yeah, okay.
So it's a lot of fun. It's actually scared me a few times too, because there's no music at all when you play, and you have to play with headphones so you can listen for footsteps and people walking and running.
Oh, I love shit like that, dude. I love the detail like that.
So the best game I got was, it was down to 10 people, and I'm in the area is getting smaller and smaller. So I'm walking through this house, crouching around, trying to walk as slowly as I can. And I saw that someone else had been in the house before because they left a door open. It's very important to close the door behind you when you go in a house.
Okay.
And so I'm walking around trying to see if I find someone, listen to footsteps, and I go and open up a door, and boom, I get shotgun blast right away.
Is it like realistic too, like one shot kill or torso shot, like you're done or something like that? Can you get shot in the foot and still kind of get away, or how's the damage done?
It's not that realistic yet. Of course, with a shotgun blast at close range, I was dead. But
Right, rightfully so. Okay,
but there's no like limb damage or anything like that, where if you were to get shot in the leg, will you start running away slowly or something, or not be able to run? I don't know if they're going to be adding that in the future. I hope they do something like that, because that would make a lot more sense. It also put a little bit more realism in it because, if you get shot in the arm, you're not going to be able to use that arm for anything.
Right. Honestly, they do a lot. Betas, they're looking at bugs, but that's also the time where they start doing the balancing and stuff before the real thing comes out. So I wouldn't be surprised if something like that were to happen.
No, man, but it is a very stressful game, but in a good way, because you just never know what's going around you. Probably one of the most frustrating aspects of the game is when someone has a sniper rifle and they do a really good job of hiding in the bushes or by the trees or something, and you cannot see them.
Are the weapons always in the power-ups or the packs or whatever, however they come, are they always in the same spot?
No. It's, good. So say you land in a house in one game and it has like all these awesome weapons and armor and all that. The next game you play, it may only have like a t-shirt for you or a pair of pants, which it's
so you come in naked?
No. You come in like just in a white shirt and khakis is what you start off in. But
so you could potentially stand out though with a white shirt. Like it's really hard to hide. I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So it's good to find different clothes that'll sort of mesh in with the wilderness, especially, and get some camo pants and shirt, and they do have different shoes you can wear, but I haven't noticed if there's any difference in run speed with them or not.
Okay.
But I have actually, I don't know how it happened, but I have actually spawned in a game where I was completely naked somehow, and I had to go and get clothes quickly so I don't completely stand out.
Yeah, I mean, also you don't want to, get shot in the dong,
Yeah,
so you don't want a bare dong, Yeah, that's never good.
No, but
this is PC only currently, correct?
For now, yes. I think they do have plans for console when it's officially released, but dude, it is so good. It's surprisingly good. I didn't think it was going to be that great, and you know me when it comes to new games, how picky I can be.
Oh my god, dude. Forget picky. Like, even getting you to consider a game, bro, takes like a fucking act of Congress.
I know.
I can tell you till like, oh, actually, I didn't like it, but it's exactly like this, and this, and this. And it's like, I can name like 30 different things that you're about, and you'd be like, meh. It's like, damn it. I even tried telling you I don't like it.
Yeah.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
Like I said, I've already invested 8 hours into the game, and it's worth it, man. It is pretty buggy though, which gets frustrating. There have been a few games where it'll someone will come near me and the game will start lagging.
Right.
And if they come near you and you lag, of course you're dead. Which that's very frustrating. But like I said, it's in beta. There's still a lot of bugs to work out, so I'm a little bit more accepting of it. If it was a full release game and it was doing this shit, I'd be like, no.
Unacceptable, yeah.
I'll
tell you this. They've got, so I don't know who Bluehole is, but that's the developer apparently.
Yeah.
I've never heard of them, but they look like they have their shit together. I'm on their website now, and I mean, they've got shit. They're literally, their website is streaming gameplay from it, and it looks fucking cool, man. Like, I hope they're not super indie, so that they do get it to a console for people like me, plebes, because I know it's very expensive to develop for console. So, but this looks pretty cool, man. And hearing you explain it and everything, like, I could definitely spend a lot of time on this, because this isn't a Call of Duty or something where, yeah, you're going to get good with muscle memory and shit, but every game is an even playing field, right? Like, you don't know where you're going to get the shit from, and you don't have to worry about upgraded gear and shit like that. Like, this is cool, man.
Yeah, the only thing you get as far as quote-unquote leveling up is after the end of each game is you get this currency. I forget what they call it. And after you gain so much of this currency, you can unlock more starting clothes. But I don't think it gives you any advantage or anything. It's just more...
Clothes could, but that's everything nowadays is customized, right? And your fucking style and your persona and all that, all that shit, so...
But I mean, it's not like that big of a, advantage. If
coming soon, leaderboard statistics and replay. Ooh, they are going to get fancy with it when it goes live.
Yeah, man. It's like I said, it's even my wife who has no interest in shooters, she was watching me and she's just and I basically told her like it's Hunger Games. That's what it is. And I forgot another thing to mention. There are certain random areas on the map that if all of a sudden you look at your map and it's a giant red circle, find shelter immediately because there's going to be bombs going off randomly.
Oh, that's what I'm seeing here in their little demo thing. So like you can call in a strike. Is that like a thing you can pick up or something, or is it like the game makers or whoever's holding this event is just something they do to just randomize and level the playing field?
I think it's random.
Okay.
I don't think players control it, and that's another cool thing I like is there's no because in Call of Duty if you look at the map when someone's shooting it shows a little red dot.
Right. Yep. Yeah, you light up. Yep.
Yeah. In this game, that does not happen at all.
But if you get your headphones on like you should, you could hear it potentially and hear where it's coming from. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. No, man, this is great. I'm really jealous, man. I don't know. I'm gonna maybe mess around on Steam later, see if I can play it in some ultra degraded mode on one of my shit boxes here, because I really would like to check this out. This looks cool. Dude's driving a dune buggy and shit.
Yep.
No, that's pretty sick. Guy hiding in it with a ghillie. He's got a ghillie on. He's hiding in the swamp sniping people, dude. Like,
oh shit. See, I have not found a sniper rifle yet because, like I said, that's majority of the times how I've died is I'm trying really hard to stay in the wilderness and I hear the sniper shooting at me because they missed, but it's like I don't know where the fuck they're coming from.
this motherfucker has a crossbow. Look at that shit.
Oh, those suck. They're really good, but they're so slow to reload.
Oh, well, I mean, as they would be.
Yeah.
Good thing about in real world, what a crossbow is sort of leveraged as being good for, and tactically. I mean, like legitimately. I mean, I don't know how many missions and stuff these things are actually being deployed on, but they use crossbows shooting people that are under the water, because the bullets sort of fragment when they hit the water.
Yeah.
But the arrow will go right through. I mean, it won't go crazy deep, but you can spearfish like that, so it makes sense. But yeah, they'll use real high powered crossbows to take dudes out from above the water and shit. Pretty crazy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no doubt.
I never knew that.
Yeah, the kill zone for a bullet, even from a high powered rifle, through water is very small. It's only like a couple of feet. But you have an actual like arrow or something that's not hypersonic and made of soft lead. It'll keep going and fairly straight. I think they've got the forgive me if I don't have the right terminology, but the fins on the back or the feathers or whatever you want to call them. Like they have ones that are made for when you're shooting into water for like fishing and stuff. So they keep it nice and straight and shit. Pretty cool stuff.
No, that's definitely cool. So
more
what have
shit that I know?
Yeah. So what have you been playing?
A few things. Let's see. Who am I sponsored by? Nobody. Nobody right now. Maybe Nintendo.
Or you could be sponsored by Genesis or Sega. I mean,
yeah, Sega if they had money and they were a thing.
Well, so, it essentially would be Nintendo then.
Yeah, probably Nintendo. I am. Damn. There's no PlayStation on there. Holy fuck, I'm wearing a PlayStation shirt. In fact, I've worn a PlayStation shirt all weekend, like different ones, and I'm not even playing anything on there right now. Oh, fuck. All right, let's see. So, all right, so one thing I've been trying to find, and this apparently is the rich video game man's sport, but is shmups. You familiar with the term shmup, Matt?
That sounds familiar. Remind me again what it is.
Yeah, shoot 'em ups, shmups. There's actually I think it's like shmups.org or some shit as like a forum for that. But they're like side scrolling or vertical scrolling shooters. A lot of times spaceship. You've got like a spaceship, like you mentioned earlier, like Galaga, things like that. Those are all considered shmups. But I'm more interested in like arcade ports, like because arcades always have the best versions of those, and Japan, they've been real popular always, and there's really neat shit coming out of there. Space Harrier, things like that. I was like, all right, well, I want a good shmup. I remember as a kid, I wasn't super into them. If you accidentally rented one from the video game store, they were always like impossibly hard that you'd be done with them very soon, shit like that. So I kind of did a little bit of research, and I know that I wanted to look for Thunder Force series for the Genesis. The Genesis is actually known to have some of the best, with the exception of, I believe, the TurboGrafx 16 is actually like the shmup system officially. But if you're looking for other ones, the Genesis is known to have pretty good arcade ports. So it looked like the Thunder Force series was the way to go. So sheer happenstance, I'm up at the game store. It's actually up by your house, Matt. Game Quest, I think it is.
Oh, I still need to go there. I need to.
You do. Well, we're going to go. We'll talk about that more in a minute, in about 3 weeks, for sure. But yeah, so I was up there. Actually, Melissa's little brother lives up that way. I was picking him up. He's going to stay with us for the weekend, so I stopped in there, using it as an excuse mostly. Yeah, sure, I'll pick him up after work on a Friday. I'll drive to Spring Hill. But so anyway, I actually was in there like a couple weeks prior, picking up her little brother as well. And I asked about shmups, and he's like, "Oh man, I just sold everything." He's like, the only thing he had was like almost $300. I think it was for like the 32X, and I was like, "I think you misunderstood me, man. I'm not trying to spend $300 on one fucking ancient game, So anyway, so I didn't find nothing. So I went up there, and I was like, "Hey man, I was in a couple weeks ago. You have any shmups? This and that." And he's like, hold on a second. And he comes from the back, and he hands me this game called Lightning Force. And my first thought is, what is this bootleg fucking Thunder Force game that he's trying to sell me, right? He's like, listen, I'll give it to you for $30. I've got it on eBay right now for $35. And I was like, well, all right, that's kind of cool. I look it up, and sure as shit, it's actually Thunder Force 4. But for whatever reason, the US port of it, I don't know why, and I don't know why they can't spell, but it's called Lightning Force with an E in the middle.
That's
so they fucked. Yeah, it should be Lightning Force because thunder, lightning. But anyway, so I grabbed this, and apparently this is like the pinnacle of shooter games, and it's the only one that's actually like somewhat affordable. I guess because it was ported over here in large numbers. Because graphically it was a system mover at the time for arcade goers. So anyway, so I've got that. It is hard. There's only 4 levels that I can tell. It's really interesting. It doesn't make you go linear. You actually can pick from the main screen which level you're going to start with and the order that it will then proceed with, which is really cool, especially for that era. You didn't really get a whole lot of option like that. So anyway, so I pick it up. It's really good. Let me tell you, man, this may possibly be the best looking game on the Genesis. And I'm not just blowing smoke. Like I really do think so. It's like there's so many layers of parallax scrolling that, you didn't think it was even possible on a game system like that. But honestly, the level of detail in some of these backgrounds is phenomenal. There's this one level where there's like these giant mountains in the background. And it's scary good. It almost looks like something you would have actually played in the arcade, and the colors are great, this and that. So I'm really enjoying it. It is hard, however, I've gotten to the point where I can, with the allotted amount of continues, I can beat 2 levels with the main bosses, and I can get to a 3rd boss. So I haven't beat him yet without running out of continues, but I'm getting there. So I do believe with as hard as it is still beatable. So I'm working on that. One cool thing about this game, Matt, are you familiar with the, not Galaga. What's the other shmup that's on the NES Classic? Gradius. You familiar with Gradius?
Yeah, Gradius.
Gradius, whatever.
Gradius. Yeah, and then R-Type also.
R-Type, yeah. Okay, there you go.
This looks very similar to R-Type.
Actually, yeah, that might even be a better comparison. I was actually just going to kind of show some contrast. So the Gradius, to be able to get the ability to shoot backwards or upgrade or things like that, right? Like a lot of these upgrades, you have to get them. Well, right out of the or speed up even. Like in Gradius, you have to choose. Like you have this bar across the bottom, and as you collect power ups, it moves the bar further and further, and you hit the go button when you decide that this is the power up I want to cash in on, right? And then it starts over. Well, one of those is your speed, the movement of your ship, how you can, kind of maneuver around. Well, this game right out of the box lets you toggle. You can go from 25, 50, 75, and 100% speed. You don't need a power up for it, anything like that. And it totally allows you to, choose what speed you need to accomplish the portion of the game you're in. And I can't tell you how clutch that is for a very difficult shooter, just to have that. And then the other thing that it does is really cool is that it allows you to shoot to toggle between shooting forward only with a slightly more powered up weapon, or shoot forward and back at the same time. A lot of games require, before you can shoot backwards, is some type of an upgrade or something like that. But this one, you can actually kind of switch between them. And then, of course, all of those weapons can be upgraded as you collect things, and there's shields and stuff. All your typical upgrades, sure. But right out of the box, you got your speed and you got your forward and back right out of there, right out of the box. It really makes it more enjoyable for me. It actually makes me not be as pissed off at the game of its level of difficulty. So check it out. If anybody wants to play a really excellent shmup that's not very expensive, and I really do feel like it may be graphically one of the best games on the system, check out Lightning Force. Not Lightning Force, but Lightning Force, because Japan. So... where are you at with shmups, Matt? Have you a fan or no on that?
I like them. They're fun pick me up games.
That's a good point. I actually left it out. You're right. It's a good pick it up type game for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been one of my favorite shmups, I guess, and I'm determined to beat this one day. It's just I need to have the patience and level-headedness for it. Is UN Squadron for Super Nintendo.
UN Squadron. Let me Google that shit. Super Nintendo. Okay.
Yeah. Really fucking hard game. Holy shit, is it hard.
Well, you prefer harder games, man. You're very you have skills, especially in the old school realm, man. You have shown me up as our challenges have shown. So if you say it's hard, I'm gonna tend to agree with or believe you then.
Yeah, because there's not even that many levels to the game, but as usual, the first few levels are pretty easy, but it just gradually gets harder, of course.
So I'm looking at screen caps of it. Is that a fucking B-2 bomber?
Probably.
Well, yeah, it is. It's a fucking B-2 stealth bomber. It looks like it's a boss. Okay, that's fucking cool. And you know what? These graphics are pretty impressive. Again, to what I said earlier, Super Nintendo is superior to Genesis. Everybody else can eat it. It definitely is.
No, it's a really fun game. It's definitely tough. What I really like about it is you choose between 3 pilots, and each pilot has their own uniqueness about them. One of them is really fast, but their defense is very lacking, and then one of them is pretty slow, but their defense is really high.
So there's different classes. Oh, that's fucking sick, dude.
And then as you progress, you can unlock more ships, or not ships, planes, and better weapons. But I'll beat it one day. I've actually gotten to the last level, and it's insane.
How many levels are there in that game?
God, it's been so long. I want to say maybe up to 10 levels, maybe.
Oh, this is great. This is totally affordable. $20 shipped, eBay.
Oh shit, I should buy it.
Hell, even the looks like even the Jap only the Japanese only one is right around there too. Hell, even in boxed, it's fucking $65. So, okay, this is affordable. I may actually be able to grab one of these locally at some point for a decent amount. I'm sold, man. I'm looking at these pics. It looks phenomenal. I am concerned about the difficulty. If you're saying it's hard, I guess it's going to be pretty damn hard.
Yeah, just try it on an emulator first. What I'd recommend.
If you have any other ideas, Matt, of good shmups, let me know, because I've got to find these ones that are affordable, because like all the really well known ones are through the roof expensive.
Yeah.
Cool, man. I'll check that out. Moving on, this next one I won't spend too much time on, just because It's everybody pretty much knows what it is I've been playing Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist on Genesis, which is, a lot of people call it the Turtles in Time for Genesis, which I don't think that's quite accurate. It plays identically. Graphically, it's very close. And Turtles in Time is an arcade port, which is absolutely the definitive version if you can play it. But this is sort of like that. They just changed kind of like the story and your missions around a little bit, and it's new levels. So it's like if you're done playing Turtles in Time or you're wore out on it, this is a great another extension of that series essentially to play. My son and I have been playing that, and we get to the last stage. We haven't made it past there yet. Of course, we haven't cheated. We're using the allotted amount of continues. But it's solid. It's got like the surfing, where you're on like your like power board or whatever in the water and you're fighting dudes. It's got that, same as Turtles in Time. Controls are tight. They're good. They feel great. Hit detection is on point. So yeah, if you've never checked it out, do check it out. It is a little bit starting in what I would call the pricey territory, and I did pay retail for it, but simply because my son really wanted to play it with me. He loves Turtles in Time. So I paid $45 for it, and I think it's about 48 shipped right now on eBay the last time I checked. So there are repros. Hell, get a repro. I think they're only like $13-14 for a repo. If you need to play it, check it out. Pretty cool. What else we got here? The last like 16-bit era game that I've been playing is I picked up Aladdin, which can be had for like $15, $14, something like that, even locally in retail, which is great. Matt, I know you've played the Aladdin games before.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially the Super Nintendo one. I've played both, but the Super Nintendo one I've always found better.
Yeah, me as well. Some people bitch about the throwing the apples thing, but I kind of like it. I mean, forget that it's an apple, but like, to have an ability to throw something and stun somebody that's, kind of a little ways away is extremely helpful.
Well, not only that, I just like the level design in the Super Nintendo one better than the Sega.
I only can barely remember playing the Sega one, and I think we've talked about this in the past, so we don't need to spend much time on it, but I don't really remember the Genesis one too much. But I do remember it being good. But the one I remember and the one I've been playing is the Super Nintendo one. And, my wife she's a platformer. We've talked about that before. She likes it. So she's been playing that along with me, and, it's great. It's got a password system. So you can continue from where you left off, which is sweet. And can we talk about password systems for a second on old games? This is the only fucking game to get this right. You've got, I think you and I talked about like fucking Mega Man, like the grid with the dots. Okay, not the worst out there, but not the greatest. And then some games are like, 4 octets of gibberish, to remember. It's unnecessary. Dude, Aladdin is so pimp. It's 4 pictures. It's like Genie, like Jafar, like, Abu and whatever, you know what I mean? Like, it's not too hard. Like they really nailed it. So, a lot of other developers should have taken a page out of that. And I think it's Capcom made that. So, good job, Capcom. Let's see what else we got. Okay, we can talk about. Do you want me to go into some of the Switch stuff, or do we want to hold off for a little bit on that?
Well, no, let's go ahead and get into the Switch stuff. Or actually, let's get into the Smash Brothers real quick.
Oh, get into God, Switch. I was going to skip it. I knew you were going to bring that shit up. All right, so as you guys know, I talk shit about games that I think, in my stupid head, that I'm good at. And one of those has always been Smash Brothers Melee on the GameCube. I had it since day one. Me and my friends have always played it. It was always great, this and that. So, as time's gone on or whatever, I never really played in a tournament, which I'm learning I should have back in the day. But I was at this Game Quest store, the one I was talking about that I picked up Lightning Force from, and he's like, "Oh, hey, on the 3rd, we're gonna have a Smash Bros tournament. It's $5." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, sign me up." Huge mistake. So I started watching. Yeah, I started watching tournament videos, and okay, so I play the game with the moves that are given to you, right? You've got light attack, fast attacks, you've got, power attacks, you've got jumps, you've got all this shit, right? Like your typical moves. And I play those moves very well. Like I'm very methodical. I only have like 3 characters I use. I know them really well. I can predict everybody, this and that. I watch these goddamn tournament videos. These motherfuckers are doing things that aren't even actual moves. They're doing exploits. Like they're literally doing like jump cancel shit and able to deal damage that way. And like they're making Captain Falcon throw knees into people that I didn't even know you could do. It's bad, and it's insane fast with these cancel moves, and they're quite complex. The deeper I get into it, I realize like you literally have to, and what I'm going to be doing over the next month or 3 weeks, whatever it is practicing all this shit over and over and over and over and over repeatedly. And the only way to get into a level where you can actually practice by yourself is using an exploit, Matt. Did I tell you about that? There's an exploit that you have to get into where you can be in a level where you can have no opponent and you can practice in. So I have to figure that out before I can even start practicing, essentially. So really disheartening. I'm going to get absolutely destroyed pretty much probably first round. But for somebody who likes the game, I feel like I should at least get the tournament experience once, and it's $5 entry. So fuck it. What am I out? You know?
That's $5. That's nothing.
No, for sure. And it's not terribly far from my house or anything. So, not bad. So anyway, so Matt, you said you wanted to go out there and support my loss, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. We can film it too.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that. It's, fill my embarrassment. So anyway, I love that game, and I'm probably about to hate it and probably put it down and never play it again. So that's cool. But that's about it for me. I've got a couple of Switch games, but we wanted to kind of go into a little bit about the Switch. One of those games, Matt, you actually played. So if you want, we can head into that.
Yeah, I guess we can head over to our news stories and get in. Let's first talk about the Switch. So in case anybody hasn't heard, Nintendo released a new console. I don't think it made that much big of waves because you can't find them in stores or anything. So it's called the Nintendo Switch. You may have heard about it if you're into gaming.
How do you spell that?
And so I don't have a Switch yet. I'm probably going to wait until about Christmas time to get one. But I know you, Butler, you pre-ordered one as soon as they were able to be pre-ordered.
Let's back up. Let's fucking start over, okay? First of all, it's your fault.
I know.
If we're honest, okay? So if you guys don't know, Matt had a Wii U before me, and I honestly didn't have any intentions of getting one until they got cheaper. I went to Matt's house, to which my son played Mario Kart 8. To which he turned to me and said, "Dad, why don't we have Mario Kart 8?" So I went and used a free money card and picked up that console. So then Matt and I, huge Zelda fans, we've talked about it in depth. We talked about Breath of the Wild and stuff when it was still in development and the E3 shit. And Matt says to me, are you going to get it? Of course I'm going to fucking get it on launch day, this and that. And that's been the whole thing. Well, when we learned that they were going to come out on both Wii U and the Switch, Matt literally said that I was a peasant because I suggested getting it on the Wii U. So it's like, so you're going to get a Switch on launch? He said, yes. I said, all right, fuck that. I'm in. So I went and I pre-ordered that shit. And then Matt, I believe actually what happened was, truthfully, like real talk, like no bullshit, like you picked up a PS4 Pro. And that essentially made your determination whether or not you were going to get a Switch at launch. Is that about right, or am I way off?
No, it sounds about right because I was pretty happy with the PS4 Pro, and like I said, I couldn't really justify spending $400 for just one game at the time.
I get that. I really do, and I it's cool to have it, but on the other hand, there's not much out there to play, dude. And the PS4 Pro is it's phenomenal, and I mean, it only makes sense as somebody that has a high-end PC and PC games would get the best console. But no. So anyways, I pre-ordered it. I got it on launch day. I had to like seriously. I purchased it at the mall by our work, Stab Central, and I literally was absolutely scared walking out to my car with that shit in my hands. I had Matt there. Thank God.
It's pretty bad, and I mean, people think we over exaggerate, but no, it's a pretty bad area.
Did you hear what happened to one of those one of our vendors that's been on site? Did you hear what happened this week to her?
No.
So one of our software vendors at work is in town helping us out. She was in the pita place across from us, and a dude came in with a gun and held everybody up and robbed the place.
Wait, which pita place? The We Are Pitas?
No, I shouldn't even say pita. The Gyro Euro place.
Oh my God.
It's like, that like faces our building. You know what I mean? Right over there. Straight up gunmen came in and robbed that shit while she was in there. She thought we were joking. Told her how rough the neighborhood was.
Wow.
So there you go. Yeah, that happened like Tuesday night or Wednesday or some shit. So yeah, real talk. The place is dangerous. But yeah, so we got the Switch. As a console, Matt, that you play on your TV, it's always going to be a good party system, which Nintendo's really always had kind of that since the Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
So you can't take away from that. But, the PS4 and the Xbox are still better at it. They are. Nintendo IPs aside. But it is probably the best portable that money can buy. To play current gen games, especially shit like Zelda portable, it's fucking crazy, man. Like, I haven't taken it many places yet, but I sure as shit will be like playing it on the couch or in the bedroom or my son has taken it places and stuff, which is great for him, like he doesn't have to play some phone game that's just rotting his brain, because it's like fucking Fruit Ninja shit or whatever the fucking kids play nowadays. But, if you travel a lot or if you, you're into portables or you used to be, or maybe you're not, but you're looking for a chance to get in, this thing is great as a portable. I gotta say, man.
I know that is the one thing I'm excited about it the most when I do get it is being able to play it on the go.
Honestly, it's the whole reason to purchase this thing. Like, I swear it is. Like, you can hook up your TV, great, that's fine. But it's the portability is phenomenal. That's what's really, really got me hooked on the system. And it runs great. Everybody wants to talk about it running shittier in portable mode, but honestly, they dropped the resolution and you can't tell because the screen's smaller than your TV. So it looks just as good on there as it does on your TV. I don't care what anybody says. I mean, yeah, if you're 4K monitor guy, you're just not going to like it to begin with. All right. So let that shit go. But if you're a normal gamer person, you're not going to distinguish a difference that's going to take you out of the game at least, right? Between portable and TV mode. I mean, not at all. I did a Mario Kart 8 tournament on it with the guys from they hosted it from My Life in Gaming YouTube channel, and they did a Mario Kart 8 tournament, and I came in 5th out of like 36 people like playing it in portable mode. So I mean, it's great. It really is. So. But yeah, it's cool, man. It's cool. There's a lot of gimmicky shit with it, but everybody's aware of that. So
no, but that's like I said, that's really awesome. I'm super excited I'm excited to see the future of it too. Like and I'm hoping that a lot more third-party vendors jump on board for it and start releasing some third-party games and not just the Nintendo exclusives, because those are going to be good regardless.
When have they sucked? Very rarely. Very rarely. Oh, there are. I'm not saying that there's not, but
no, I mean, like the Mario games, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Zelda, those very rarely, if ever, suck.
Even like I at the time I hated it, but Luigi's Mansion, I wouldn't play it at the time. Mostly I was pissed there wasn't a Mario game on the GameCube until way later. Sunshine, I think it was. Yeah. But it's great. Like replaying Luigi's Mansion and shit, like on the 3DS and on the GameCube. The game's a fucking masterpiece. Like it really is, you know.
I have never played it. I don't know anything about it.
You'd like it. It's pretty cool. That's one thing too that you can give Nintendo credit for is even the people that hate Nintendo and say they should be a software company, they will secede that that's the best IPs in the game, man, by far. And it is. They give a shit is what it is,
Yeah, they do, and it's some of their decisions are just so frustrating sometimes. But in the end, they make really good games and surprisingly good hardware too.
That's the thing too, is it's always durable, isn't it? Like I was concerned about the Wii U, like the tablet thing being susceptible to breakage and shit, but that thing's rock solid, dude. It's been through hell and back.
Oh yeah, it's survived Zoe, and I'm surprised she hasn't broken it yet.
So, I mean, that's just a testament to it. I've never had a Nintendo console actually die on me. Have you?
No, I don't think I ever have. Not even any of my handhelds.
And those really get the brunt of it, too,
Actually, wait, no, I lie. My Nintendo DS Lite, something happened with the motherboard on it, but I sent it in a Nintendo. Luckily, it was still under warranty, so I sent it in a Nintendo and got it back like a week or two later, and it stayed good until, I lost it.
What's your experience with their customer service? I hear it's good. I've never really dealt with them.
That was probably the only time I ever really had to deal with their customer service, as far as I remember, and it was a really relatively painless process. They sent me a label. I just had to, get a box and just ship it, and they sent it back.
That's pretty cool. There was always I don't want to say rumor because Melissa's dad, I guess he did it. And I did see a new DS Lite that her little brother had back in the day, and I know he had one that he had dropped and it still worked is the crazy thing. Like it was like structurally broken, but it still worked. It's just like, like buttons were like falling out of it and shit because he smashed the shit out of it. Yeah. Totally like not something that you would expect any electronic to survive, like not Nintendo's fault, but he sent it in with like a $50 money order and they sent it back completely rebuilt. And I was like, I didn't even know you could do that when it's out of warranty. He's like, oh yeah. He's like, if they still have parts on it, he's like, he said he did it with a GameCube. He said he did it with Super Nintendo back in the day and shit. That he's just always done that. And so, $50 and they would fix it. I don't know if they still do that or whatever, but at the time it really surprised me. But I never tried it for myself, so I mean, I really can't personally speak for it. But still cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So Zelda, you do have Zelda without having a Switch. You do still have it on the Wii U, and I know you've taken a pause because, and this is fucking stupid, Nintendo. This is something they did that was stupid. You can't take your save from Wii U or from any Switch to another Switch or anything. So you've essentially stopped playing Zelda because you're going to have to start over, right? Like you don't want to get crazy far into the game because you're going to end up getting it on the Switch and so on and so forth. But you did still get pretty far. How far did you get?
I think I got up to beating 30 shrines, if I remember. But I never did do any of the Divine Beast.
That's still a huge chunk, though. You explored a lot of the world at that point.
Yeah, let me start with the good with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild does a really good job of the exploration aspect. It makes you actually want to go explore stuff in the map, and it's a very unique Zelda in the terms of it's non-linear. Yeah, it is a little bit linear when you're on the Great Plateau because you got to beat the first 4 shrines in order to even get off the Great Plateau. But as soon as you get off the Great Plateau, you can pretty much go do whatever you want. You can go kill Ganon if you want right from there. It's going to be really hard.
Yeah, I was going to say you could go there, but
I mean, there's people that have already sped run through the game and have beaten it in an hour already. It's like, holy shit.
Ugh, that's so disheartening. Like, why? I mean, speedrunning's cool, but come on, like already.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But no, like I said, the weapon system, it did take a little bit getting used to at first with, having to constantly find new weapons, them breaking. I feel like some certain class of weapons break way too easily sometimes. But I don't know if they fixed that in any patches recently.
Not that I've noticed. I don't feel like the weapons are any different. I mean, I get what they're trying to. I agree with you. I'm not a fan of the weapon system. If I had anything negative to say, that's probably my top gripe. I get what they're trying to do, trying to force you to use, more weapons and to constantly be cycling through them to experience more things.
Yeah.
But, there's times where that fails you, and it is annoying. I get anxiety about managing my inventory, Matt. You know this. I spoke to you about this before. And it doesn't help at all to now worry about like how many hits I have left on something, It's, ugh.
The cooking system, I mean, it's neat. There are really neat things you can do with it where you can improve stamina, have resist to cold and fire, and increase your hearts, which is cool. But to me, and like I said, I haven't gotten that far, but just having to manage food and make sure that you always have food, because there have been some battles where you just have to eat a crap ton of food or else, you're going to die. And then after you're done pretty much eating up your entire inventory, oh, look, you got to go forage for food some more. And it just sort of takes you out of the game a little bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Do you think that that's something that's more like they're making the game deep for the sake of making it deep? Like there's always been like, you pick up items and they help you or they do this or they add that, but you never had to make them, right? Like, do you think that that's just more done for the sake of making the game take longer or feel more in depth, or like you did more for the sake of simply that?
It could feel like that, definitely. It just feels more time consuming than anything. The other things that I'm not crazy about, and like I said, I don't know if they fixed this in a patch, is there are certain areas where it rains way too much.
Oh my God, and the climbing when it rains.
Yep, it's sort of... I've literally had to go... I was going after a shrine, and I had to climb up a side of a mountain, and as soon... Of course, right in the middle of it started raining, and it felt like it didn't stop raining for 15, 20 minutes real time. And so I'm just like sitting there, just, okay.
And there's literally nothing you can do. I mean, I guess you could go and fast travel to somewhere close where there's like a stable and sleep until morning and then go back. But it's like, why? Like, seriously? Like, that's the extent you're having to go to? It's just... Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. There are shortcomings like that. The rain is a bit much sometimes, especially like I hate when like, man, I'm the type to climb something like high to get to a new part of a world, and it'll fucking rain halfway when you're halfway up it, man. Like,
yeah, it's definitely frustrating. Like I mentioned in the beginning, the exploration of the game is amazing. Where I feel it gets a little bit weak, and maybe you can attest to this more, is just all the shrines I've done, especially the puzzle shrines, are very weak. They're not very
They're not. I wonder if that's by design because there's 120 of them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's most likely why. And I've heard that the Divine Beast dungeons are just basically a giant shrine.
No, they are. They are. I've done 2 of them now, at 100%. Now they are... There's like one in each one of them. So you have like in the shrines how you have like there's like usually like 2 tasks, right? Like unlock this room and then get to this for the second one, right? And then so there's like in the Divine Beast there's usually I think there's like 5 or 6 things maybe you have to do. And there at least the two that I've done so far, there have been two. There's been one in each one that has really stumped me, which is cool. I don't mind being frustrated here or there. I don't want to completely breeze through it, but they are better. But the extended shrine is a really good way to put it, Matt. Like you definitely nail it there. It's just more of it, kind of in one spot, really.
And what makes that disappointing is, for me, Zelda is more about the dungeons and the puzzles than the exploration. I mean, the exploration has always been a really big aspect of Zelda, but
sure.
The dungeon, it's sort of like exploration's 50% and the dungeons is the other 50. But with Breath of the Wild, we only kind of got like maybe 75% exploration, and the dungeons are like, here, we just threw these in, and some of them are tough, some of them are just more like, hey, press this button and you win.
Well, they're too quick too, right? Like even the ones where you have to fight shit in there, it's one or two enemies maybe, and it's quick. You know, like a dungeon is like you maybe need to do that shit more than once. You know what I mean? Historically in Zelda, like you're gonna get your ass beat. You know, you might have to, really, fix your strategy and shit. Like I agree, it feels like a departure as far as the dungeon goes, and I mean that's a staple of Zelda. So missed the mark, sure. Made it, a bad game. I'm gonna say no. But it missed the Zelda mark for sure. Absolutely.
It's definitely not a bad game. It's still a really good Zelda. Would I put it in my top 3 Zeldas? No.
So originally when I first started playing it, I would have fought you and said it's the best Zelda that there is. But yeah, but what I've honestly come to realize is that, okay, it's not, it's probably not in my top 3 Zeldas either, but it is, I'll give it this. It's, in the past year, it's probably if not the top, the number 2 video game that I've played.
For this
I know
year?
You don't agree. Yeah, within the past physical year. So from the date of today to a year prior, like for sure.
Are we talking about just new games that have come out this year?
Let's. I mean, we don't want to throw. I mean, because obviously there's older shit that I like better than it. But shit that's come out in in the past year, I would put it in my top 2. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely, man. Like it's a good game, and I think that when you have more time to play it and you can dedicate to it, and you've come to peace with some of the things that you don't like with it, I think you'll see it too. But yeah, where would you rank it in the past year?
Well, shit, because I'd say Final Fantasy 15 would be the best game I've played recently, but that was the end of last year, though.
It's still within the last physical year, though.
Yeah, but oh man, I don't know. I'm still kind of on a high with PlayerUnknown because that game's just, oh my god, it's
not technically out.
True. What other fucking games have I? Yeah, I guess I have to say Zelda would be number 2. Final Fantasy 15 be number 1.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go. So that tells you, like, so everybody that wants to talk negatively about it, take that with a grain of salt, because somebody who actually does not place it in their top realm at all of Zeldas is telling you that if you're looking for something that came out recently to play, it might be a good choice. So.
And just because I don't put it into my top 3 doesn't mean it's a bad game. It's still a really good game. It's
right.
Really,
it's not
really
Zelda
good.
2,
No. I'd rather play Breath of the Wild than Zelda 2. But
I'd fucking hope so. God damn, that game is a fucking abortion.
But no, like I said, it's a really good game. It's a lot of fun, but it's, like I said,
it misses marks as being a Zelda game. It does. Yeah, totally. I agree. And I would have fought you at first, the first week I played it, but no, you're right, man. You're right. I've come to terms with it. But excellent game. Is it a system seller?
Apparently it is, because I can't. I can't find a system anywhere.
I'm gonna say it is. If you wanna disagree with me on that, I mean, it's the only thing selling the system, so good luck. But no, even if it wasn't the only game that was, I mean, now there's a couple other things out there, but say there was a Mario and that out at the same time, that came out at the same time, I still think that that's gonna be a game that would move consoles. You would still hear people say they'd be buying it for the Zelda. So yeah, no, for sure.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so the only other thing, like I said, and I did talk about it, so I won't go into it too much. We've got some other things we really need to get to. Is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I did pick it up. I pre-ordered it. It was actually kind of nice surprise. I forgot we pre-ordered it. My wife's like, "Oh, that's coming this week." I was like, "Oh my god!" So that was cool. It is. If you played it on the Wii U, do you need it? Only if you're a fan of the battles. Because battles suck on the Wii U version of Mario Kart 8 because it's all done on the tracks. There's no battle arenas or levels, whatever you want to call stages. There is now, and they are really good. I like them a lot. Like I said, I played a tournament in it already doing the battle, and it was good. So that's cool. If you're into that and you want that again, yes, it's worth to repurchase for that if that's what you like. Otherwise, no. It has all the DLC, which I already had on the Wii U. So there's really nothing new there. They did fix a glitch called fire hopping. So if that was pissing you off online, that's how I was getting destroyed by everybody in Japan, Matt. And you as well. That's why we didn't play that game online. It's because they're using an exploit, it turns out. So, that's it for Mario Kart 8. Is it a system mover? No. If you haven't played Mario Kart 8 and you have a Switch, dude, yes, you need that game. Matt, I think, were you the one that told me that Mario Kart 8 might be one of your favorite Mario Karts?
Yeah, you and I were talking about that. I think it would be a toss-up between that one and Super Mario Kart.
Oh, yes, I agree. It's hard for me because I really love Double Dash on the GameCube.
Yeah.
I don't even think I can judge it objectively because I just have so many hours into it. But I would say that those are my top three: Super Mario Kart, Double Dash, and 8 by far. And really, I'd like to put some blank spaces between some of the others. To be honest with you, just to show that I mean business about this game. It is good. Do you need to rebuy it if you already have it? Only if you're interested in battles. Seriously, otherwise I wouldn't. Don't waste your money.
Well, I'm probably gonna pick it up because I've heard a lot of good things about it, and then plus being able to play Mario Kart 8 on the go is just another plus about it.
That's a great point. I didn't even fucking think about that. Yeah, you could tether it to your phone, right, and play Mario Kart 8 online or with a friend, or even if somebody else has another Switch, you can link the Switches together, and you could do that. So yeah, I guess I left that out. So yeah, that might be another reason you might want to buy it. I think that is cool. On the go. We can move into news if you'd like, Matt. We've actually it's getting a little late here for us, especially some people that have to work in the morning.
Yeah, I guess.
So Matt, you want to take that first topic? I actually have it loaded up. Pleasantly surprised by it. You want to have a go?
Yeah, so IGN recently released a list of top 100 RPGs of all time. When one of the biggest complaints I heard about was where they placed Final Fantasy VII, and they placed it. What was it, like 52? It was placed.
Yeah, I just passed it. Yep, 52.
So, and that caused a lot of uproar in the Final Fantasy community because there's a lot of people who considered that to be the best Final Fantasy of all time, which
no, it's not.
It's not, but they do make a really good argument that it was the RPG to really push RPGs into the mainstream at the time because it came out, 97?
97. Yeah, it was. I mean, okay. I mean, I literally traded in every video game system I had on a PlayStation, the original PlayStation, and that game. So, okay, at the time, yeah, I'll go with that.
I mean, and it is still a really good game, has a really good story, but, I mean, like I said, I'm still a little surprised. Even me personally, I'm still a little surprised it's ranking that low. But like I said, it's just a list, and maybe the author was trying to be a little bit edgy or something. But there's some games on here that I've never even heard of before. Like
so many, dude. Like, and honestly, like the fact that they're on the list makes me want to play them even. And I really feel like I'm a complete failure as a gamer going through how many of these I don't know. Golden Sun, never played it.
Oh, yeah, no, I've played that. But no, if you look at 92 Betrayal at Krondor, I was like, I've never fucking heard of this. What the hell is that?
What is that? And these are I didn't read.
Oh, that's an old PC game. That's why I've never really heard of it.
Are these limited to U.S. release?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think I've seen some shit in there too.
So, like, if you look at 91 Freedom Force, that's actually a really fun game. It's a superhero game. I think you play as different superheroes that are knockoffs of Marvel and DC characters, and it's sort of an kind of an open world RPG in a sense, where you get to go around and you can even beat up civilians if you want, but you'll fail missions if you do.
Look at those freaking console 3D graphics, boy! I'll tell you what.
Oh no, this was only PC. It never came out.
Is it really? Then that's bad. Because it almost looks like Dreamcasty, like the graphics. Holy shit!
It does. So I just wanted to go over the top 10 real quick.
All right, let me get there with you.
So coming in at number 10 is The Witcher 3, which I do have that game, and
That's pretty phenomenal.
I have not really played it though. I played about 5 minutes of it, and I turned it off because it wanted me to go through some unskippable tutorial, and I'm just like, and at the time I'm just like, I don't want to fucking go through a tutorial.
You're not one for tutorials.
No, I'm one for, let me just jump into the game and I'll learn it as I go.
No doubt. Yep.
And like that, it just, I'm sure it's a really good game.
Thousands of hours into this game, man. Like, I mean, I don't know.
It's just, well, like I said, you know me, I hate tutorials. I mean, especially when they hold your hand for every stupid thing, and it's like, come on, just let me play. I don't.
You still got your PSP?
Yeah.
All right, I got a game for you. If you hate tutorials, I got you.
All right, awesome. All right. So then coming in at number 9 is Vagrant Story, which came out on the PS1. This is actually a game related to Final Fantasy Tactics. It takes place in the same world as Tactics does.
Dude, I don't know anything about this fucking game. See, here's how I'm that bad of a gamer, man.
Oh, that's right. Even Final Fantasy 12 has some references to it. I forgot that 12. I forgot that 12 was in the same realm as this game too. I remember playing it when it came out, but I don't really have much recollection of it. I never beat it, but it's, I don't know. Like I said, I don't remember too much about it. And then,
okay, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, then coming in at number 8 is a game that you and I have both played a shit ton, which is Diablo 2.
I almost would want to, until I scrolled down and looked at what was left on the list, and all of them deserve to be there, I almost would have like wanted to go fight IGN about making it number 8. Like, I really felt like it should be higher, but then again, I forgot about a bunch of games that are going to come in at better spots. But yeah, man, it's a fucking classic. It holds up now. Like, if you could go play this, especially if you've never played a Diablo, like, you could go play this today and be completely occupied for a hell of a long time. I mean, really.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's still, like you put it perfectly, it still holds up today. And
it does. Graphics aren't terrible. They're going to be a little grainy for your liking nowadays. But
you can only play it in 800 by 600.
By 600, yeah. So, I mean, that's a little shitty, but if you're, I mean, this is a fucking retro video game podcast, so if you have a problem with that, you're probably listening to the wrong podcast.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's high def graphics in our game, bro. We're used to 240p around here, all right? So,
Now, then coming in at number 7 is Secret of Mana, and I don't know if you've ever played this game, but
oh sure, yeah,
it is one of my favorite RPGs of all time as well. It's so good. And it makes it even better playing up to 3 people too, because there's only 3 characters as they show in the little painting, and each character has their own like little unique abilities, and you can play, with all 3 people. You need the multi-tap though for the Super Nintendo.
Right. I was a loser, and so I never played with anybody but myself on this, but that seems like it would be cool.
Yeah, I remember a buddy and we spent all summer playing this game. Like, I'd go over his house every other day or something, and we literally did everything you could in this game and spent all summer doing it. I'll never forget that though.
If you're looking for a retro game that is deep as the fucking ocean, this is it. This game is excellent, man. Like I do have a lot of hours into this as well. And honestly, I think somebody like left it at my house and like never wanted it back. Like I tried to give it back to them, and they were just like, no, I'm not really into those kind of games. And
Yeah,
I picked it up one day and didn't put it down for like months.
and it is an expensive game. It's like $60-$70, I think, right now.
That's the realm where in retro games I stopped buying.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know. A game like this is kind of worth it, though. It's so good.
I'd agree. You know, if you have to have it and you're short on the cash flow or you don't have the system or whatever, this absolutely emulate this. You need to experience this game. I agree.
So the next game, number 6, I've never played this game. Planescape Torment.
Never heard of it.
So I don't really want to talk too much about it.
Moving on.
Yeah, I don't really know much about it. World of Warcraft comes in at number 5, and you know me, Butler. I've played this. God, I have ridiculous amounts of hours into it, and even today, it's still just as popular.
We'd like to give a shout out to Zuby's weekly sponsor, Blizzard Entertainment International.
Yeah, just so they don't know, and they can send the checks at P.O. Box 204.
Purveyors of fine entertainment and stealing hours and hours of Matt's time.
Yeah, I'm not playing the game World of Warcraft right now, but it's still definitely a good game. It's still going strong.
This bitch came out in 2004, dude.
I know.
Whoa.
It's a completely different game than it released. But
as you know, I've only played it here or there, and I've never really gotten into it. But I will respect it by the fact of how it's still around. The massive amount of people that still play it, and that it's still supported and that there's a huge community and all that. So, I think it's well deserved to be in the top 10. I wouldn't personally have put it in my top 5 like they did, but, I get it. I do. I really do.
Now, it would definitely make my top 10, but not my top 5, though.
Oh, interesting, because you do have some time into that game, so okay.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Next one on the list is Pokemon Yellow, which, do they give a reason why they don't mention Red and Blue? Is Red and Blue on the list? I remember seeing Sun and Moon.
I don't think it is. Okay, so this is... I get a lot of shit for this when I say that this is... Now, look, Matt, you know that I played Red. Like, that's the one I started on, right? Like, that's... Yeah. That's the shit. But when this came out, I got it, and it was a gift. And I ended up the reason why I replayed Pokemon was because of this game. The only difference is Pikachu follows you around, and he's the only thing you can get at the start, which isn't necessarily an advantage. Also, you can't evolve that Pikachu, and you can't get another Pikachu. You have to like trade to get one.
Yeah, for Red and Blue.
Yeah, so I don't know why it's the one that they picked. I actually would, just because I probably have the most hours in it, but I will secede, though, that as a whole, the Red or Blue would be a much better choice. I agree. I don't know why Yellow. They don't really say. Oh, updated sprites. I guess because maybe it's the definitive version, technically speaking, maybe?
I mean, it definitely is a better-looking version compared to Red and Blue.
But we're talking about the Game Boy, dude. Like, it's, like that's...
Well, I mean, when you got to compare with what you got at the time, it definitely does look better. And the Pokemon sprites do look better. And
they do.
And what I do remember liking about this game is you get all 3 starters, just like how Ash did in the TV show.
That's true. You can. Yep. I don't know that other Game Boy games did any voice, but every time you jump into a battle with that following you around Pikachu, Pika, and it's pretty clear for a Game Boy, man. Like, used to get me pumped, man. Like, yeah, bitch, feel my thunder, like, yeah, here it comes, So it's Didn't it have for the Game Boy? It did for the Game Boy Color. It had a special like border for the game, or not Game Boy Color, the Super Game Boy. Yeah, it had like a border and shit, which was kind of cool at the time, I guess.
Yeah, Yeah, because that was always cool. Like you put it in the Super Game Boy if it had a different border or something. I think this one had Pikachu's around the border. Something
It
like that.
is. One of our streams, I actually had it playing in the background. If you guys want to check that out on our YouTube channel, you can see that. But yeah, it did. So I mean, that was cool. But I don't know. I think that like I said, I already played the game once through before, and I do remember being pissed off playing Yellow that I couldn't get another Pikachu to evolve, and that you didn't have a choice from the beginning, and I thought that you would. I don't know that maybe graphically it's the definitive version. I don't know. I mean, I liked it, but I get why it wouldn't be the best one for most people. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. But all right, number 3 comes in at Baldur's Gate 2: Shadows of Amn. I've never played. I don't think I played this one. I have played Baldur's Gate 1 and Neverwinter Nights, which is basically based on D&D, and
Okay.
they're they're isometric like Diablo, but they're turn based though, and they can be really fun, really deep games. I mean, Baldur's Gate 2, this came out in 2000, and these games in Neverwinter Nights, they're super deep, man, for what they were.
My buddy Dave played Baldur's Gate back in the day, and I never got into it. Mostly I didn't have a PC right at the time, and then when I did get a PC, everybody else was kind of doing other things, so I never went back to it. But I do remember hearing him talk about it and seeing it played and stuff like that. And he was showing me like how how large the world was and how many places there were to go and shit. And I was completely floored by how deep it is. I thought that the first one was more successful than 2.
No,
No?
2 is more popular.
Okay.
It actually just got a remastered edition maybe a year or two ago on Steam.
Okay.
So yeah, I've never played 2. I played 1, and then I played Neverwinter Nights, and those are really good games. I may have to check them out again one day.
It says robust implementation of the current D&D rules at the time. So that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
So coming in at number 2 is my personal favorite video game of all time, Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, no, I've told you this many times. This is
Of all time? I would have thought you said Suikoden 2 was your favorite of all time. Okay, 6?
no. Suikoden 2 comes in at number 2. No, 6.
Wow.
Yeah, 6 is my all-time favorite game ever, and
My favorite Final Fantasy as well, to date at least. Yes, absolutely.
and it's just I don't know. I can go on and on about it, but let's just say if you haven't played the game and you're a fan of RPGs, this is a
Kill yourself.
must. Yeah.
Oh, wait, you weren't going with that? My bad.
No. No, this is a must play.
Dude, from the first scene when they're standing in the mechs, you're like, oh, this is gonna be the fucking shit. You know?
I remember as a kid, like when your mech gets destroyed in that opening little entrance, I was so disappointed because I'm like, I thought the whole game you were gonna have mechs.
I did too. I did too. I did too. It kind of let me. Honestly, though, that's what kept me playing it. Was the hope to get a mech.
And
so,
you do get another one for a little bit during Sabin's story.
Very, very shortly.
Yeah, it's not very long, but you get it back for a little bit, and then that's it. You never see him again. Actually, wait, no, you do. I can't remember if you fight in them, but when you go into Cyan's dream in the World of Ruin, you do get to ride the mechs again, but I can't remember if you fight in them or not.
I only remember fighting once. I haven't played this game in probably 10 years, so I'm probably not the best on step by step on that. But yeah, no, you do fight in them. I don't know if you do a second time.
So coming in at number 1 is Chrono Trigger, and this game for me would definitely makes my top 5. I can't think if it makes number 3 or not. But
I'd put this in my top 10. I know it's blasphemy, but I like Chrono Cross better.
No, Chrono Cross people give Chrono Cross a lot of shit because it wasn't Chrono Trigger 2, because the game was so vastly different compared to Trigger.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, but Um, this game is great. I would have put Final Fantasy VI ahead of it. I probably would have put Pokemon ahead of it. But it is good. It is really good. Number one is at the time it was pretty groundbreaking, especially for RPGs, for sure. But I don't know. Number one on 100 list. I don't know, bro.
It's well, like I said, I can see why, because it is a very heralded game. Herald, yeah, heralded game.
It's late. Everybody, fuck off.
Yeah. And it's just a lot of fun. The time travel aspect is really cool. How you get to see the world changes between the different time periods. It's has a really good cast of characters. I love Frog and Robo in this. They're probably my two favorite characters in the game. But if I have to decide which is better, Trigger or Cross, it comes really close. I don't know. I'd probably have to sit down and really go over the two and debate with myself. But Chrono Cross was super, super good. Trigger,
super good, man.
Trigger is just as good. But yeah, so that was the top 10 for at least the top 100. Really interesting list. We should probably put a link in the show notes just so other people can check it out.
All right. And, yeah, no, honestly, like I've actually had this up all weekend and I've literally been like eBaying games off of it. Like just so many things I didn't even think or know, that I need to get into my playlist because it's very good. Very good list. Even if you don't agree with the order, put your anger aside for a minute. I'm looking at Chrono Trigger right now on eBay, $125, and the good listings have the game opened up so you can see it's the legit board, by the way, because there's a lot of repros, and they're about $35 for a repro.
Well, I mean, if you have to play the Super Nintendo version, I mean, you'd spend the money for it, but the DS version is just as good. Plus, it adds a new side quest,
and it's $20 shipped.
Yeah. Well, actually, what's cool is Square Enix will sell the game on their website for $10 during holidays.
Oh, no shit. Oh, but is it like download, or they'll actually send you a physical copy?
It's a physical copy, brand new
for the DS.
Yep.
Whoa! All right, I'm doing that. I'm fucking doing that. That's excellent.
And they do the same.
Portable.
They do the same for Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 for PS1. They'll send them brand new. They still have, I guess, a crap ton of stock of them.
So that's really cool because a game like Chrono Trigger that's going to take you quite a while. A lot of people don't have the time or the dedication to play it only glued to some set top at home.
Yeah.
So having it on the DS is probably the way to play that game.
No, it's a really good copy. I never noticed any slowdown with it, where you get that sort of slowdown with some ported games,
right? Or even in the original, which in a platformer or shooter or something like that, you want the slowdown so that it's authentic. But in an RPG, I mean, no, get rid of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I just want to play the game, Look at this, $3,000 for a mint sealed Chrono Trigger.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I know. I would unseal it because I'd be so concerned that it's not really in there, that somebody had like a vacuum sealer.
I know, right?
And then it's worth like half price. Hell, the box is going for good money. All right, what else we got here? So we can hit these two really quick. One of them will be way quick, but I do want to talk about the second one, the Night Trap re-release. Matt, what do you remember about Night Trap, or what do you know about Night Trap?
All I know is it's one of those full motion video games that I think it came out in Sega CD or
Sega CD, baby. We talked about it at the top of the episode. Sega CD, completely an FMV game, full motion video. Completely, garbage really as a game, if we're honest. I mean,
and I guess my big question is why? Why are they wasting their money with this? I think it was a Kickstarter, wasn't it?
It was, and it got funded and everything. We're waiting for the release date. Limited Run Games is going to do it, which they are a pretty cool operation, by the way. It does suck, though, that, as the name states, it's limited run, so you only get it once, and if you aren't on that pre-order list, you're not getting one. It's typically around 5,000 copies, and that's of any game that they do.
I'm good if I don't get a copy.
Of Night Trap? Yeah, I agree. But the cool thing is, and why I bring it up about this game, and something that's actually ironic is so... And the reason why there's a cult following and why the re-release and all that, Matt, is because this is the game that formed the rating system for video games. Like, this is the game that caused that to happen.
Oh, okay.
Because this game is these chicks are kind of having like a sleepover type thing. I might not be 100% accurate on that, but there's these young ladies, and they're, kind of all throughout the house, and there's cameras all throughout the house. So, I'm sure that was the voyeurism and shit in the early 90s was really creepy, but there's also traps that are set. And there's like these weird, like goblin, stupid looking goon motherfuckers that are like trying to come into the house and steal and like take and kill the women that are in the house. And so your job is to kind of scroll from camera to camera to camera and catch them when they're in frame of the camera and spring the trap. And if you catch them all, you win the game. If you miss even one, it's pretty much game over. And they do like it's painfully cheesy, Matt. It's so bad. I don't understand how anybody got bent into shape about this back in the day, because it's not graphic. First of all, the FM video quality, which I spoke about earlier, is absolutely fucking terrible, so it can't be that graphic. Secondly, it's so cheesy. Like, it's the worst acting, it's the worst props, it's like the stupidest shit. The guys are so slow. Like, these ladies could run no problem away from these things. Like, it's so bad. It's so fucking bad that it brought up so much drama that it went to Congress and they tried to get the fucking shit banned. Nintendo took a stance against it. They used it as an opportunity to put a jab into Sega, who was at the time starting to take an alarming amount of their market away from them. And they were like, we will never put this on one of our systems. It's disgusting. It's smut, this and that, which it's not. But what's funny about it, this game single-handedly spawned what was it, the MPA? What's the, not MPA, what's the game rating?
You're talking about you're not saying the
ESRB.
ESRB.
ESRB was literally spawned from this game, okay? Like, it was literally created because of this one game. Here's what's funny. Guess what the new game's rated? The remake, the re-release.
What is it?
Teen. It's fucking teen. It caused this shit to start. And in this day and age, being re-released, it only garners a teen rating for, like, I think it's like mild violence or something like that. It's insane to me. Like, all this uprising, and it went to Congress, and everybody flipped out about it and all that stuff, and it caused an entire organization to start, right? And it gets a teen rating. Fucking however many years later, 20 years, whatever it is. So, I don't know, I thought that was really funny, really interesting, real cool bit about video gaming history and why you have the ratings on the boxes of all the games nowadays is because of Night Trap, because of that game. So, and it's fairly cheap to obtain an older one too. So if you do want to play it, the move is to get it on something old. Don't try to get the new copy, because you probably won't get one anyways. There's only like 5,000.
No, I think I'm good. I don't think I need to play it.
Have you looked at any of the screenshots or anything?
I think I have seen some gameplay of it before, and it just looked terrible.
Oh, it's terrible. There's I don't get why people play it, but whatever. Anyways, the last thing we have is Hyperkin Retron HD, which really does pertain to our show, so we're gonna bring it out. I'm not historically a fan of Hyperkin at all. They make the Retron 5. If you guys haven't heard, it's like an emulation box. It's got like 5 different slots. I think even more than that, because you can play like Game Boy Advance games. But you can put like all the different retro cartridges into it, and it will then dump them into the RAM and then emulate them and spit them out via HDMI to your TV. really, there's no advantage to this over just emulating on your PC unless you want to play on your TV with a real Super Nintendo or Genesis controller.
Yeah.
Some people use it for game capture and stuff like that. I guess I could see it. They're really cheap pieces of shit. Like, they feel cheap, they break. They don't do really much of the emulation right. The sound is off on pretty much every game I've ever heard, so I've never really been a fan. So they're coming out with this Retron HD, and it's just NES, but they're calling it hardware. Pure hardware is actually their fucking quote. It's pure hardware, which means they're using an FPGA chip to mimic the original NES hardware, and then using unused resources, because that chip is far more powerful than anything came out back then, to upscale it to 720p to your more modern TV via HDMI, which sounds great. Most of these NES, newer systems, the AVS, the retro AVS, USB, whatever it's called, things like that. The mini, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but these things are all kind of doing the same thing, and they're expensive. The cheapest one is like $175. The other one is like $400. Matt, I showed you that actually. The mini, what's it called? Mini AN or something like that, or mini NV. I showed you they have like a solid gold one. It's like $5,000.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that's ridiculous.
It is. Now, you don't need the one that's fucking gold-plated or whatever. You don't need that. But even the non-gold-plated one is like $400. But it does a phenomenal job at it. It has all the same slowdown. The sounds are accurate. You can even load in, different firmware that they support that will allow you to actually play ROMs on it and all this. But you're playing the ROMs in real hardware, and things like that. So it's really well done. It's expensive for a reason. Retron Hyperkin is releasing this thing for $40. Now, mind you, the only other cheapest solution that's comparable is $175. There's a reason. I watched a stream of this. They streamed this shit on their Facebook last week, and I think they did it again tonight. I missed it. But they streamed this shit, and it's fucking wretched. They didn't even know. The thing that concerns me is that the people that they put in front of the screen, like to do the stream, they didn't even realize they were running a PAL game in in NTSC mode, which PAL games run at a different refresh rate. It's 50 hertz versus 60. So the game was running like insanely fast, and they didn't even notice. They got called out so hard on it for how fast it was running, and they were trying to say it was the capture card and this and that. Now, to their defense, it was in the wrong mode, but it's like you're demoing a product that's for pre-order right now, and you're trying to say how good it is, and you can't even get that part right. And I know from every product they have out there, they're very cheaply made. They're garbage, and at $40, you can't expect very much. So anyways, I talked some shit on their Facebook, but anyways, so if you guys need a cheap system out there that's playing on hardware, look at it. It is affordable. But I would wait and see what the reviews say. You might just honestly be better off emulating, until you can come up with a better solution. So,
or Raspberry Pi.
Hey man, those are doing really great right now. What are they, like $60 or something?
Yeah, something like that.
People run like MAME stations off of them and shit now. So, if you're going to emulate, or you want something that you can, hell, they sell adapters, USB adapters to play the original controllers, in Linux environments. So there you go, Raspberry Pi with a remote. It's $20 more than this thing. You're going to have a way more authentic experience, I would personally say. So
yeah.
But we're hardware life around here, aren't we, Matt? You've got an NES. You wouldn't have it any other way.
No, hell no. Why would I get this rip off?
That's a good point, man. So, anyways, that's I think that's it for the show. Matt, do you have anything else before we wrap it up?
No, if you want to find me and chat with me, you can catch me on Twitter at Zubatron, at Zubatron. I've got 2 other podcasts. I've got Magic with Zuby, which is strictly all about Magic the Gathering, and I bring on pro players and other content creators on there. And then I have another one that I do with my buddy Alec called So Your Father's a Nerd, where we talk about all things nerdy, including like Star Wars, comic books, books, and how it pertains to trying to raise our kids in a nerdy environment. So, I mean, you can definitely check those out on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and TuneIn Radio. And, yeah, that's pretty much where they can catch me. Where can they catch you at?
You can catch me with just a multitude of different variations of how you spell Killa Bees. I'm sorry. Twitter, you can find me. It's KILLABEEZZ2T. You can get me on Twitter there. You can get the show at VCR Gaming, which is nice and simple. Pretty much everything for the show is VCR Gaming, one word. So not too bad there. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on so PlayStation is KILLABEEZZ. You can find me on Xbox is K1LLABEEZZ. So send me a request. I'll add you if I'm on. We can get to playing some games. That's about it. Again, check us out. Check out our YouTube channel. Check out our Twitter. Check out our Facebook for updates on things. Matt, we have some produced stuff in the works here. I think we have an ad, so you guys get ready for that. We're going to step it up a little bit there. That's about it, man.
Yeah, that's about all I've got, too.
All right. Well, another podcast in the books, right on time, 1 week after the last one. And we're good. So thanks, everybody, for listening. Yeah, that's it.
All right, and have a great night, everybody.